Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. How are you doing? Welcome to English grade 8. Today students we are going to cover another SLO of our unit number 7. It is called A Mystic Place. We are going to cover the competency of vocabulary and we have idioms for the topic. Let's read our SLO and see what we are supposed to do. So be very much attentive because we are going to learn so many interesting idioms today. The SLO is comprehend and use contemporary idioms and proverbs in the different texts and in their speech. The SLO is talking about idioms and proverbs, but we are only going to learn idioms today, and you can also find it in the main lesson as well. So we will be focusing on idioms. We will try to see what they are. We will recall some idioms that we have already learned in previous units lessons and with some activity. Now students, you can see the vertical linkage over here. This SLO, comprehend idioms and proverbs in the different texts, was taught in the previous lesson, in the previous grade actually. So let's begin the lesson by doing this quick brainstorming session. Think about common phrases you hear people use that don't mean exactly what they say. It means that there are some phrases, if you take them literally as it is, word by word, it will not mean the same. Yes, you often do this as well, so as your elders, your people around you. For example, we have this idiom, it's raining cats and dogs. So, what do these phrases mean? Can you think of any others? Yes, it is raining cats and dogs. It's a very unusual thing to say. It means that it is not supposed to be taken literally as it is. It means that we have to be very much curious about it. We have to think that what does actually mean, and when do we use this phrase, or when do we use this idiom in its true sense. Do you know about any other phrases like that? Good. So when we are talking about raining cats and dogs, it is when we are referring when it is raining heavily. So that's why we say, instead of just saying the boring sentence, it's raining heavily or the weather is torrentious, etc., we could just say that it's raining cats and dogs. Now, this has an origin. Maybe there was a time when it rained so much and there was a thunderstorm which made the cats and dogs fly, and the person who was saying it would say, look, the cats and dogs are flying. Or there may be a time when somebody misunderstood or misinterprets something. So, but now we use this idiom to show or to tell when it is raining so much and it is raining heavily. We say that it's raining cats and dogs. So it means that if we take literal meaning, that would be wrong. We have to take the figurative meaning, and idioms are part of the figurative language. I hope that you have come up with your own idioms that you have that you already remember, that you can recall them and note them down. Now let's move on to our recalling session. Idioms are expressions. Yes, when we want to express ourselves, we can be creative with it. So these are expressions or phrases that have a figurative meaning. It means that you do not take the literal meaning, but rather the figurative meaning of the phrase or that expression beyond their literal meaning. They are often used in everyday language and can add color, depth, and cultural tones to communication. You can add color, you can add depth in your conversation, you can make it beautiful and creative. There are so many idioms that are already there. You don't need to make new, but rather you can learn the cultural idioms of English so that you can use them accordingly. Now, here let's look at some examples. Now, it was a truly picture perfect moment frozen in time. What do you mean by the phrase picture perfect moment? It means it is a situation or scene that is visually beautiful, and this fort is an ancient gem that has witnessed 800 years of rule in the Hunza Valley. Again, ancient gem, which means a valuable and precious object. And picture perfect moment means that it is a moment so beautiful that you want to take picture of it. Frozen in time. So you can see that maybe there are two words, more than two words, 4 or 5 words in a phrase that make up an idiom, and you can use them in your language, in your speech, and also in your writing. Now, students, here are some idioms with their meanings. All you have to do is understand them and then use them in your sentences. The first one is break the ice. It means to start a conversation. So, how would you use it in your sentence? You can say that the room was silent, it was full of people, and then suddenly Ali broke the ice. It means Ali started a conversation. And that's how we use this idiom, breaking the ice or break the ice. Bite the bullet. Again, this is an idiom, and if you take it literally, it means you are biting the bullet with your teeth. But that is not the case here, dear learners. It means to endure a painful or a difficult situation. To take up a difficult or painful situation, so we can say that nobody was ready to take up the task, then Hamza bite the bullet and go for it. So you can use it again. Let's cut to the chase, hit the nail on the head, let the cat out of the bag, piece of cake, and the ball is in your court. All these idioms, you can see they have different figurative meanings, not the literal meanings. And these are the meanings we are going for. So now read them, understand their meaning, and as a task, use them in your sentences. Here is a simulation link that you can watch and learn more about idioms. You can learn contemporary idioms that are used in this 21st century and on the daily basis. All right. For the homework, what you're supposed to do is very simple. You can see the picture over here. There are different common English idioms like cat got your tongue, snug as a bug in a rug, go the extra mile, butterflies in my stomach, to go down in flames, and once in a blue moon. Your task is to learn about these idioms, search their meanings, and use them in your sentences as your homework. Now, for the worksheet, again, you have to learn all these idioms that you can see with infographics and pictures, and then use them practically in your speech and sentence. Do not take the literal meaning as it is, rather take the figurative meaning and think about the idiom and think that why it is how it is. For example, if you are saying bite the bullet, then where does it originated from? How do we know, and how can we recognize and understand unfamiliar idioms that we have never learned or seen before? So this is your task, and all these resources, students, the presentation, you'll get a lesson plan, worksheet, and a skill sheet. They will be added in the description of the video. I hope that we have covered the SLO very well. We talked about idioms. There are expressions and phrases. There are a lot of them that you need to learn, and replace your ordinary usual sentences with these expressions and phrases so that you can beautify and make your conversation and writing creative. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video lesson. Allah Hafiz.